So one of the other new things that we unveiled at Automation Fair is the ChekVolt. So a lot of you guys are probably pretty familiar with this, as we came out with the ChekVolt actually at Automation Fair in Chicago. So it would have been 2022. It's been one of our most successful product launches to date.
The most success. It has been very well received in the industry. People are really starting to view this as common sense. The safety, the being able to troubleshoot from outside the cabinet and test from a safe space. But yeah, the most products, the quickest we've ever sold products is the ChekVolt after launching it at Automation Fair.
Yeah, and for those that have maybe never seen the ChekVolt, you can kind of see some of the newer versions up here. But typically, our current version, or the one we released last year at Automation Fair, is a 3-phase application with a ground. So you got a port for each phase as well as a ground. So what it's used for, it's permanently installed into an electrical panel. It's a 30 mil knockout. You have 4 leads coming out the back of it, 1 for each phase, and then 1 for ground as well. So what this device does, it has 2 dual redundant LEDs on the outside for each phase and ground. So if power is present, those dual redundant LEDs are going to be flashing at you, letting you know you have power. When you hit the disconnect, those LEDs should be going off. If you do have a stuck blade or anything like that, the phase that is still connected will light up, as well as the ground. And then the big thing here is between those redundant LEDs, you actually have a port to plug in your meter where you can test for absence of voltage. And we did have a webinar recently with Terry Becker going over the new NFPA 70E changes. So definitely look that one up if you want to know how the ChekVolt helps you further comply with NFPA 70E for establishing a safe working condition.
That was pretty much it. It got so popular, we have some variants up here. So one of the more exciting ones, and definitely the most sought after, is the 2000 volt version. Yep. So we have a DC available version. It's going to be this one up here in the picture. But that was developed specifically for EV and solar industries. I know solar applications, we have combiner boxes where at the end of the array there's 1500 volts DC, and they didn't want to have to buy special equipment to test absence of voltage on that, and they wanted to do it from outside so they didn't have to suit up in the big safety PPE get up. So we did that one. You want to kind of explain how we accomplished being able to use your standard voltmeter and test absence of voltage on that?
Yeah, 100%. So like Nick was mentioning, this is very designed for solar as well as EV applications. But with our current ChekVolt device, it has a 164 kilo ohm resistor in it. So it's going to take let's say it's 480, which is pretty typical in the States. It's going to bring that down to about 1.6 or so milliamps. So what we did with the 2 kV version is we have a 10-to-1 voltage divider. So what that's actually going to do is if you have 2000 volts DC, it's going to bring it down to, I believe, around 200 volts DC, what you're going to be reading at. So it will allow any standard meter to basically work within that panel. So you don't need to do a special, meter that's adjusted for 2 kV or higher. You're good to go with the meter that you guys already have at the plant, or what you guys are already using. And it's able to do that with that 10-to-1 voltage divider.
Yeah, if you have an application, we get a lot of distributors on here. A lot of our distribution network watches these for updates. If you guys have an application like that, that was more sought after than our most popular product, which is the ChekVolt. That is going to start being mass produced. Yep. So the OEMs and the industry standardizing on electrical safety is a really nice thing to see. But if you guys have applications that need to understand why people are making these decisions, what it really is making more efficient and safer, then we're happy to get in touch. But a lot of industry is starting to realize that a few $100s can make the difference between life and death doing a routine job.
Yep, 100%. And a couple of new versions also we have out there is a single phase version, which is what you see top left, as well just DC. So both of those are rated for 1000 volts AC DC. So obviously with the AC one, we're using AC there, and the DC is rated for 1000 volts DC and below. But again, it currently works with a 164 kilo ohm resistor to bring down the amps in that device, so it is fully touch safe as well. And typically when we do see end users implement the ChekVolt, is the feedback that we hear is people are receiving a return on investment in just 2 or 3 lockout tagouts. And that is mainly because typically when a ChekVolt is installed, since you're able to test for absence of voltage with that panel door closed, Safety says, hey, since you can confirm absence of voltage with your meter at the point of work, you don't have to suit up in ambient PPE gear, which saves quite a bit of time. So a lot of that return on investment is coming from that time savings.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are just as customizable. These variants, I know they standard come with a 8-foot cables.
Yep.
I think they're making a 15-foot cable version back there now. So anything, the point is to do these safe, make them easy to use. So if there is a model of product that you see from us and you think with a little bit of effort that could be really good fit for us, let us know, because it's usually not too difficult for us to make these really well placed in different facilities.
Yeah.